Sing me a song of a lass that is gone.
Hello and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Kaylee and this is a continuation series from the amazing book from Diana Gabaldon, Go Tell the Bees That I Am Gone. If you are not here to discuss the book or the videos or anything like that, please jump away. I don't want to spoil it for you, but we are most certainly going to be talking about everything that happened in chapter 7 of the book. So chapter 7 is entitled Dead or Alive, and if you have been just continuing on in this playlist and you've just watched chapter 6, man, I jinxed myself. So in the previous video I talked about how I don't like Willy. Well, I like Willy, but I don't like when he gets chapters, and guess what come up? The 7th chapter is told by Willy and features a lot of his adventures. So as I said, this chapter is all about Willy. Now, right from the start, we see that he is still on the lookout, or he's still on the hunt for Benjamin and what has happened to him. From the previous books, we know that he had been reported as being killed and he had been buried. We then found out, of course, that Benjamin wasn't actually buried in the plot that his namestone is on, and now young Willy is off looking for him and trying to find out what's happened. Has he, left on his own accord to hide, or has this happened to him? So we find out that right from the start, Willy is still looking and he's playing cards with some, let's say, rough people. He wins a lot and is then accused of cheating at cards, which causes him a little bit of an issue. He goes out and he tries to run away, basically, because they're all on the attack. And, of course, he then gets caught by a group of soldiers. Now, obviously, the troops think that Willy is with the other rebels, and it's sort of, it doesn't look good for him for a few minutes there. He does get pointed out to be hung, but we then discover very quickly that he tells them who he is, and he's very lucky that Dennis Randall is actually also there and proclaims that, yes, this is correct. He is the, 9th Earl or whatever he is, and, you can't hang him. He's obviously not a rebel, and it's just a lot going on for Willy, a lot of dialect in this chapter. Again, I guess I'm not the best person to talk about the Willy chapters because I'm not interested in what's being said, and that's possibly why I always get sort of thrown off these chapters, because there's just always a lot. He just talks a lot. Willy just talks a lot. I mean, who am I to talk? I'm literally talking about a book. But there's so much about Willy that I just find annoying. Isn't it crazy how you can do that with a book character? And I'm so sorry if you all love Willy and I'm bashing one of your favorite characters. I just don't, he just bugs me. What I did like about this chapter is Willy admits that finding Benjamin has really given him a purpose, and it's sort of given him an outline. He needs to find this needle in a haystack that is Benjamin. He needs to find out what's happened, or if he's done it to himself, or if, it's just been a horrific thing that's happened to Benjamin. A fun little thing, though, that I really enjoyed is that Willy finally found out that Lord John Grey is gay. And I don't know if that's going to play into it later on. I don't think that will come up too much. It's just nice to know that Willy is finally getting to really learn the in-depth things about his father and Jamie. Like, to me, they're both his father. So he's really starting to learn bits and pieces about his family that I hope will bring them all closer and sort of end that rift that's happening. But I don't know. I feel like Willy's going to be off on his own mission throughout most of this book. And those chapters to me are fill-ins. And I'm so sorry again if you love him and you love this chapter, but it's just really, the first chapter I haven't liked was this chapter. At the very end of this chapter, though, after a lot of dialect between Willy and Dennis, we discover that Willy is now going to head for Virginia. So I'm wondering what sort of, what outlays, what's going to happen. Obviously, I mean, there's just so much that could happen with Willy. His storyline could be magnificent, and I have just sat here belittling it, but we'll just have to wait and see. This is where having the map in the book has helped a little bit too, because I've been able to pinpoint, okay, he's going here. okay, is this far? If that makes sense. I've really enjoyed having the map and the family tree in this book. I've noticed myself going back. So I'm listening via audiobook. So I'm also holding the book sort of, oh yeah, cool. All right, so we're here on the map, or we're here on the family tree, or we're talking about this person. And I'm loving having that, the family tree, especially in this book. Let me know, have you jumped to the final family tree? Have you spoiled anything majorly for yourself by doing that? I know there are differences, so I have avoided it like the plague. I will not look at that back family tree until I am there, until I am done, until I've read the last sentence, and then I'll go and be like, oh, that's what everyone was talking about. I would love to know what you thought about this chapter. Please drop it in the comments below. I will see you very shortly for the very next chapter, as I can't stop today. I'm obsessed. And every time I have to stop to do one of these videos, I'm like, oh, maybe I'll read one more. No, don't do it, in case you slip up and say something in the chapter. So I hope everyone is excited about this book as I am. It's been a great ride, even with chapters I don't like. Please remember to hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Sing me a song of a lass that is gone.